We've got these two hydrogens that are floating around in that vinegar. They're going, oh, we got CO2.
Hey everyone, it's Presleytarian here, and today we're going to be doing a Mel Science kit. We're going to be doing the rubber egg experiment, which I'm super excited about because I love this experiment. It's very fun.
No, so we just got our two new monthly Mel Science experiment packs, and one of them is about eggs. It has 3 different egg experiments that we're going to do.
And they're in that one?
Yeah, there's some in that one, yeah. And so the first one is the rubber egg, which is really easy and a really cool thing. And I don't think you've ever done the rubber egg, have you? We're going to make the egg kind of rubbery. But before we do it and get it going, I'm going to show you what's going to happen so that when it starts happening, you'll understand it, okay? Okay, so Abba, what is this egg shell made out of mostly?
Mostly sodium carbonate.
Sodium carbonate, right? And so this is a carbonate group, Cooper. This is a carbon. You see a little carbon in there, the black one? And then these are oxygens. So CO3, because there's 3 O's, right?
So it's CO3.
CO3, right?
So it's called?
That's carbonate.
Okay, H2O.
Yeah.
And the numbers, the CO3 is the
Yeah, so H2O, we've got an H2O over here. So this is H2O. So there is 2 H's, H2, and an O, right? So H2O, and what is H2O?
Water.
So we're going to use our snatoms that came from Derek from Breadtasium. He's an awesome guy. We'll put a link in the description where you can buy your own snatoms. These are just really simple molecule kits that they're magnetic.
Yeah.
So they're kind of fun to play with. Cooper loves to play with them. Hey, you made water. Okay, put it back together. Let's show what we're doing. All right, you ready?
Alright.
So we're going to use vinegar. And vinegar has acid, right? And what's in acid that makes it acid?
In acid that makes it acid, there is a lot of hydrogens.
Hydrogen
And they're
ions.
trying to steal.
These little guys right here, hydrogen ions, right? You can do like this, and there's H2, and then you've got like a hydrogen gas, right? But a lot of times you've got these little hydrogens floating around, okay? So pretend we've got these 2 hydrogens that are floating around in that vinegar. They're going, oh, we got CO2. A Cooper and 2 oxygens.
CO2.
Not to be confused with carbon dioxide. CO. Right, okay, all right, hold on. All right, so we got these like little guys floating around, and we've got some carbonates that are part of the eggshell, right? These little carbonate groups. And what's going to happen is they're kind of going to break apart a little bit, okay?
This is just going to fall off.
It is. This is going to pop off, and when this pops off and it's floating around by itself, these guys are going to go, and what do they make?
Water.
They made water. And then what's left over here, I don't have another double bond, but if I had another double bond here, you would have carbon and 2 oxygens. You know what that makes?
What?
Carbon dioxide, CO2. That's a gas, okay? And so that's why when you mix an acid with a carbonate,
This is CO2.
that is CO2 too. It makes a different kind of CO2. So when it makes this CO2, or this would actually be CH2. Yeah, CO2 would be these guys. This is CO2.
There we go.
Look at mommy. CO2. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna make is when these mix together, they'll make, what is this?
Water.
Water, and what is this? Remember?
Carbon.
Carbon dioxide,
Yeah.
or CO2, right? Carbon and 2 oxygens, which is a gas. And so what you can predict will happen when we put this in this beaker and pour vinegar on it, what are we gonna see happen because it's making CO2 of?
Oh, because it's making CO2?
Yep.
Well, we're going to
What will we see?
We're going to see it like fizz up.
Yeah, you're gonna see bubbles.
Bubbles.
Right? CO2 is gas, and so it should make bubbles. And then it's also going to make some water, and you're not really going to be able to see that because vinegar is actually already mostly water.
Yeah.
And so when it makes water, you can't tell it's making water, but you should see bubbles from the CO2, right? And what that also means is that the calcium carbonate in here is going to start breaking down. Or the carbonate is going to start breaking down.
The white part?
Well, it's kind of brown on this one. No, the shell. So the shell's kind of going to start breaking down, and it's going to leave kind of a salt behind it. And then when that's done, you should be able to rinse it off because that'll be super water soluble. But that's a whole set. We'll deal with that tomorrow. Right now, we're just going to work on taking the eggshell off. Okay? So I'm going to put this in here just because it's real breakable.
Gentle.
Oops. Okay. So that's there. Now, who wants to pour some vinegar in here?
I want to do it.
Okay. We can try and figure out the stopper to keep it under.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm going to help, okay? Because it's kind of heavy. Here, I'm going to do this. You ready? Probably kind of stinky.
They have vinegar at my school.
Let's see if we can see some bubbles.
See the bubbles.
Cooper, do you see the bubbles starting to form on the egg? Oh, see, there's some bubbles coming up. Right? And so one of the things that can happen, what happens, do you think, Abba, with regards to the egg's buoyancy when all of these CO2 bubbles attach to it?
Ooh, in regards to buoyancy. So
you got a bunch of CO2 bubbles, like they're like air bubbles, sort of, but they're CO2 attached to the egg.
So I'd assume that would make it, like, just by, I mean, clearly it's not happening, but it seems like it would make it float.
It will make it float.
Yeah.
Eventually, enough will attach to it that will make it more buoyant.
Yeah, there's not vinegar covering it completely, so that.
And so, there it is. It's totally under. But
Oh,
that's
is
what
it?
that's
Okay,
what that's
so
what this is
it's
for.
water.
So this is just to kind of wedge it in a little bit so that it doesn't float up. Because you don't want it to float.
Yeah.
You need it to stay submerged. That should hold our little egg. Look at all the bubbles happening, Cooper. Is that cool? So now you know why those bubbles are forming. Do you remember?
Because it's CO2.
Because of the CO2. That's right. Because the acid.
Because the CO2.
The CO2. There's little CO2s floating around, sticking to the eggshell, and then they float up to the top, right? And then like carbon gas, it was flying off. Carbon dioxide gas is flying off of there, right? And so it's just because the vinegar has a bunch of hydrogens, and the eggshell has the carbonate groups, and so when they get mixed together in water,
CO2.
they all break up and make CO2 and water. Cool? Okay, so this needs to sit for about 12 hours. So we're gonna let it go overnight, and then we'll check on it in the morning.
What happens after 12 hours?
You have to wait until the morning to see. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like Christmas. You can go to bed now, and then when you wake up, we'll see what happened with the egg, okay?
I want to do another one.
Okay, well, this is what we're gonna do tonight. We'll do another one tomorrow night, okay?
We'll see what happens in 12 hours, I guess.
That's right. We'll see what happens in 12 hours. Okay, cool.
Alright, so it's the next morning, and now we get to take a look at our egg and what happened to it. There's a lot of bubbles, there's a lot of eggshell material floating a bit
What do you see, Cooper?
around in the vinegar.
See all the bubbles up top?
Yeah.
And there's brown that came off the egg.
And look right there. There's a smiley face.
There's spots,
And
there's a
both
bunch of
sides.
bubbles. So we may have to do it
Right there,
again.
smiley face.
It may not be done. We may have to put new fresh vinegar in, but we're gonna see. Okay, so Cooper, do you remember what's happening?
We put vinegar on the egg and
And what's happening? What's it making?
water.
Water and what? What are the bubbles?
Air.
What do you remember?
And you said it was air.
CO2.
Yeah, I did.
Carbon dioxide, right? So here, I'll give you, here's our acid, and there's the carbonate group. Can you make water and carbon dioxide out of that?
Yeah. Water.
Yeah, water, and that's kind of carbon dioxide. You just make another double bond, right? Carbon with two oxygens. All right, so let's take this guy out and we'll see what we got.
Oh no! Don't let the egg go in there.
Okay, so here's the egg.
What?
Now,
All the bubbles just came off.
so you see there's still shell on it, right? But this is the stuff that's kind of left over.
What's that crack?
And so the calcium, I think it's calcium acetate, it should be pretty water soluble now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run water over it
And what happens?
and see if it washes off that calcium acetate. You ready?
Wow. It doesn't. It got rid of the cell. It gets rid of the cell. How does that work?
Well, like I said, the stuff that's left over is still pretty water soluble. And so the water, it washes it off really easily. But there's a couple of, like this still has a hard piece on it. And there's still a hard piece right there. So I think we're gonna put it back in and let it sit for a little bit.
It's a white egg.
You wanna feel it?
Yeah. I feel water.
You can hold it.
Oh, it feels like plastic in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's squishy. It feels really rubber.
Okay, let Abba hold it.
Rubber.
That's the name of the experiment.
Trying rubber.
Oh, this is weird.
What it feels like is a water balloon.
It does feel like a water balloon, you're right.
I think we can take
It's the
another
egg.
layer off of it.
It's an alien-shaped water balloon. I wonder if water actually got in it. Hey,
You want to smash it on your head?
eggs are good for your hair.
Let's put it back in here. And throw another layer of vinegar on it and see if we get bubbles again.
Put another vinegar where it covers, and then put this on.
Yep, there's bubbles.
Is it bubbling again?
Yep, starting to bubble, and I can actually see bubbles on it already.
Yep, so it's eating away that next layer of the white stuff. So let's let it run for a little bit longer and then we'll check it out again, okay?
Is it gonna take off the white when we do it next time?
No, let's wait and see.
We're back, and it's been a little longer now, so we're gonna take a look at our egg.
Presley's not feeling great.
Nope.
Okay, ready? Okay, let's see what happens this time. I'm gonna pour out the vinegar again.
Pour out the vinegar. Is vinegar good for your sink?
And then let's rinse.
It's actually not bad for your
Supposedly
sink.
it's good
Yeah,
for your drains.
for your sink, like cleaning.
Whoa.
The white's coming off.
Yep.
Now it's like see-through. I think I can see some yellow in there. I'm getting some yellow. I can see the yolk.
So that's all the calcium
See that, Domino? You see that?
acetate.
Yeah.
Domino's watching too.
Yep.
What is that? Yeah, I'm very interested. And then whatever you say. Oh no.
Oh, tragedy has struck.
Okay, I got a little over aggressive
And I missed it.
in my scrubbing of the egg,
This is
and
what
we
I
popped
always
it.
record.
So this is
But that's super cool.
the rubber egg.
That's rubber.
That's what's left of the shell.
That's rubber.
So we'll make another one. Not for this video, because we have to get this video posted, but we'll make another one.
And so what were you supposed to do
and
once
keep
it was done?
intact. Well, it stays. You can see inside the egg. It's like clear.
Yeah, well, we saw that.
I just got. Well, I don't know. We got it on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the little. That's what's left. That's the little membrane inside of the eggshell. Okay, Abba.
Oh, yes.
Rubber egg.
It's really cool. I like it. We'll definitely make another one so you guys should see the thing.
So that's actually, even when you crack open an egg, if
Yeah,
you
you
look
can see
inside,
that.
you can see this membrane, right? So the shell is really gone. This is just the membrane that's inside of the shell.
Make it my goal when I was peeling hard-boiled eggs to get the membrane.
I used to take this out, like crack an egg open and take this membrane out, and you can put it in like a contact.
What?
Why?
It'll cover your eyes and make your eyes white.
Oh.
It's really kind of creepy and probably totally unsanitary.
Yeah.
To do.
I want to see it.
But I did it in college, like as some of my makeup effects.
I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it with this because it got vinegar all over it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's get another one started, and then tomorrow we'll take a look at it again. But I think that's it for today's video. Cooper, was that cool?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Do you want to show the carbon dioxide we made? Is that cool? CO2. You want to show the other CO2?
Oh, yeah.
So one other thing that's really worth mentioning about the Mel Science kits, so this comes out of Mel Science this month. So this is the little clear egg that we just made. And so they have really nice detailed instructions on how to make it, but even better, they have these really great chemical equations for the process that you're going through. So on the beginning, you can see the actual chemical equation of what's happening. And over here, you can see a little bit more detail about the chemistry. They also have videos that you can watch and all kinds of really cool things you can do. Like the Mel Science Chemistry kits are really remarkable, right, Cooper? Extremely well done. So we're going to go and talk a little bit more about the chemistry of what's actually happening. Yeah, Cooper? Cool. All right. Excellent learning. Alba, get us out of here.
Yahoo! Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to press the subscribe button to see more videos like this. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!
Bye, guys.